Email drives nearly 30% of all e-commerce revenue. Yet, the channel, powering a third of revenue, hasn't fundamentally changed in 50 years. Every time you want a customer to do something, you send them away from the inbox. I'm Lukas, co-founder of Kinetic, and we're redefining email as an interactive surface where customers can act right inside the inbox. Why now? Because product discovery is moving to AI. Soon, brands will no longer control how customers find them. They can only control how customers stay. So the real competition moves to retention. And email, the last surface where brands still own context, data, and relationships, will become the key channel to keep customers. But today, email isn't built for that. Email is stuck in 2010. Let me show you an experience we all know. So you get a generic marketing email. You maybe decide to act, so you click. You get redirected, and then there's like a slow load, maybe a cookie banner, and then maybe your girlfriend texts, and you're gone. This is full of friction. Customers need to leave the inbox to act. It's static. Once you send the email, the content is frozen. And last but not least, it's disconnected. Today, it is still hard to capture and use behavior data in emails. That's why we built Kinetic. We remove the friction and let customers take action right inside the inbox. Buy a product, fill out a survey, leave a review, update your subscription, all without leaving the inbox. It's no code and no migration. So what used to take weeks of coding now takes a simple drag and drop. And it works in 80% of all inboxes, including Apple Mail. Most importantly, it is built for data, revenue, and retention, and not gimmicks. But frictionless emails are just step one. We're redefining email from the ground up across 3 phases. After solving friction, by making emails actionable, we will solve stasis and let email content adapt in real time. And in the long run, Kinetic will enable truly one-to-one personalization at scale. In other words, we're turning email into a living surface, as dynamic as a website, but owned by the brand. And we, as a team, are the right team to build this, because we've lived this pain from every angle. There's Dave, who spent 14 years in e-commerce and marketing. He went from building marketing emails to leading whole teams and markets. There's Philip. He developed products for 10 plus years. His last big project was actually an email marketing system powering a 1 billion plus GMV shop. And then there's myself. I've set up growth and CRM at multiple startups, always bridging tech and go-to-market. This is a pain we've seen and tried to solve for years. So the big question is, does Kinetic work? Let's take a look at one of our customers, Dr. Amy Upperskin. For card recovery, our interactive email drove a 160% uplift in placed orders, as well as 93% more revenue per recipient versus their static flow. And for segmentation, our in-email forms led to 71% more data points, as well as a 165% uplift in response rate. More revenue, more data from the same inbox. We launched Kinetic in July, and in our first few months, 15 plus leading e-commerce brands and agencies have adopted Kinetic. Because they feel the pain, they see the numbers, and they have zero desire to go back to static emails. Email is more relevant than ever. It just isn't built for the next decade. Kinetic is evolving it, from a message you read into a place you act. Thank you.
Thank you, Lukas. Cecilia, you want to start?
Of course. Thank you, Lukas. That was a great presentation. If we paint a picture where the world moves on to agentic shopping, so agents do the shopping rather than consumer themselves who use emails to then do this behavior, what is the role of Kinetic then?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So I assume that the product discovery, so everything that agents do, right? Buying products, going out, finding a product is where agents are really good, right? But once you have a customer and it's all about retention, then you still need to communicate somehow with the customers, right? And that's where email will still be very strong, and that's where Kinetic shines. So not really about getting your first customer, but keeping your customers and engaging them. If you, for example, look at the agentic shopping agent of Google, in their demo, they still say, hey, we just bought you something, you'll get an email. So that's where Kinetic then still shines.
Maybe a quick question about pricing. We'd love to understand, do you sell this as a, a monthly fee, or is it outcome-based pricing that you're trying as well?
Yeah, so we use a subscription, and we right now basically base it on our main use case, which is forms. So it's very similar to what you would assume is a type form pricing. So you have a base subscription, and you can scale it up based on how many responses you get, for example.
Yeah, fantastic presentation. I'm definitely going to look at email differently now from now on. But one question, the dynamic content, does it make opening the email any slower?
No. So it depends on the use case. We try to send as much information as possible in the beginning so that it does not make the email slower. The cool thing is that what we can do is we can fetch information afterwards, so that once you interact and the second screen you see then loads, but the first time you open it, it's not slower.
Thank you so much. I really love the simplicity and such a clear, like little thing that could make life so much easier. How do you see this evolving over time? That, what is your vision of like shopping for, to say, 10 years, 5-10 years?
For shopping?
Like, for example, that now you're kind of like just taking this feature that helps the shopper's life. Like you said, that if your girlfriend is messaging you, it's not interrupting. So how do you see like this world evolving? Like this experience evolving. Maybe 10 years is too much, but say like, what's next? What's coming after this? Say 3-5 years maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, the big vision we have for email is that it moves from this very broad generic message to like 1 million people to like very specific one-to-one communication, right? As you could imagine what you can do once you adapt content, once you make it interactive, you get the behavior data and can adapt it. So I assume email will be a lot more personalized, so it will be more relevant, and we're trying to build the platform for that. Awesome.
All right. Thanks a lot for the questions. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you.